All right, everybody, welcome back. Episode 7 of How to Make a Few $1,000. I'm your co-host, Frederick Ott. I'm joined by my other co-host, Sammy Mattingly, also known as the CPA's CPA. Sammy, what's going on?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, and we've got a very special guest, Dan Rossley, finally making it on the podcast. Dan, what's up, man?
What's up, Sammy? What's up, Frederick? Thanks for having me on. Episode 7 already. Oh my goodness, that's wonderful.
It's flown by. It's flown
Yeah,
by. Sammy,
yeah.
we've probably been doing it for a few months now, and it feels like I don't even know.
Probably been I mean, that's just the way the world goes, right? Been doing the business for 10 months now. Feels like we started it yesterday. So
Yeah,
that's what happens when you're having fun.
it flies by. So for those listeners that are in Louisville, you probably know Dan. If you don't know Dan, you should meet Dan. Sammy and I have known you, Dan, for I guess probably like about a year now. Does that sound right? Yeah,
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we've back when we had our other company before this company, got some great advice. And then, we work around Cinder Block and we know what you're doing with LouDega now. But kind of before we get into all that, I don't really even know if Sammy and I know too much about kind of like your background, where you grew up, like,
Yeah.
where you went to school, what you went to school for, like early career stuff to kind of just bring us up to current. So if you could provide a
Okay.
little background, I think that'd be helpful.
Oh my goodness, how much time do you guys got?
As much as
So
you need.
all right. So really quick, right now I'm working on LouDega. It's LOUDEGA for anybody listening. LouDega.com. If you guys want a vending machine, the best vending machine in Louisville, go to LouDega.com or send me an email. It's dan@LouDega.com. I'd love to get you a great vending machine at your place. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's take it way back. My parents moved to the country. I was born here. I can be president one day. Moved around a lot. But basically grew up in the Chicagoland area. Uh, went to, public school, did all that, went to Yale for undergrad. And that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of it was the first time I ever felt really dumb in my life. Graduated in the 2009 recession. So it was just really tough to get a job. Again, if anybody's listening, just go get a job. I did all this, worked so hard. When I was 22, my first job was painting houses. I still have this very vivid memory of being on somebody's first floor garage on their roof, power washing the side of their house. The sun was going down. It was like 5 o'clock, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life? But it was a recession and you had to go get a job. Right? And that's what I would tell anybody, just uh, life's not going to get handed to you. I got one of the best degrees in the world. And, a month after graduation, I was, power washing somebody's roof, or siding, I should say. So that's life for you. I really want to get into trading. I applied around, went back to Chicago, lived at home and, kind of a mom's basement kind of kid. And then I was a runner. So again, no college degree required, a lot of high school dropouts next to me. And I just kept grinding it through. There was these things called computers, even back in 2009 and algorithms. So I was like, hey, why are we running tickets? Like, can a computer do this? And then just that sparked and led to like an 8-year trading career. Did a lot of fixed income, energy futures, stuff like that. Um, just to fast forward, kind of saw the writing on the wall. Trading's a young man's game. I would say there's a lot of 25-year-olds and not a lot of 35-year-olds in trading. And there's this new thing called, data science that was coming out back in 2015. So pivoted over there. Oh, at the same time, met my wife. We got married. We moved around the country for her training. I just picked up jobs along the way. We lived in, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia. When she was finished with her training, then we moved to Berkeley, California. Had one son along the way. Picked up a couple dogs. Had another son in California. That was my dream job. Just being out on the West Coast. COVID hit, and by that time, I'm now 38. I was probably like 34 when 33, 34 when COVID hit. I don't know, can't do the math, but my wife was just like, I want to move back home. And I was like, okay, where's home? Like, what is home, right? Like, because we moved around so much, as you can already tell. So got to Louisville back in 2022. New to the town, didn't know anybody, but we moved a lot before then, so it was pretty good at like just building new networks wherever we stopped. And now I'm here probably forever, I would say, or at least until my kids, graduate high school. And for anybody listening, it's like, life changes. You're gonna get a bunch of, kids are, one of the greatest joys in my life, but like you gotta give them a stable, the best you can, give them a stable home. To be honest, I was thinking about moving out probably about 2 years ago. And that's when I kind of realized like, hey, the math doesn't work out. Like, even if I get a great job, my kids are gonna have to move. We're gonna have to, you guys just graduated, right? So like moving is just a U-Haul with a truck and maybe a bed. And
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just, you're gonna get more stuff, and then when you get married, you get a ton of stuff, right? And so then when you get kids, it's just like, man, you got like a small little army you need to hire to get all your stuff around. And so it's like when we moved here, it took months. Like we still have things in boxes even now, right? So it's just like I'm not doing that again, right? And that's why we started KYX. That's another one of my, side endeavors, I would say. Not so much a hustle, but just a passion. Like if I'm gonna be here, I want to see the community grow. I want to see businesses like yours grow. I want you guys to be successful. Since I'm not here, like I'm not from here, it's like, I'll give you the honest truth. I'm not afraid to say like, hey, I don't think that's a great idea, or like you should do it differently, right? But at the same time, it's like, I want you guys to be successful. I want it to be, when my kids turn 18, the youngest now is just turned 5, so I still have 13 years to go. Like you guys have plenty of time and hopefully plenty of shots on goal to make a great business happen. And looks like you guys are already doing it. So right now in the present, picked a vending machine company, thought it was a great business. Less than 100 days in, 10 locations or 10 machines, I should say, and we're chugging along.
That's a it's an awesome story. Wild twists and turns. I had no
Yeah,
clue
Yeah.
about a lot of that, especially I had no clue that you graduated during the recession, and
yeah.
I just assumed you went from Yale, got a great job and started rolling with the punches. But yeah, that's a very cool story.
Yeah, I would say kids, especially with the computer science, everybody's worried about the AI issue. I don't want to say, I don't want to be one of those old timers and say like back in my day, we had 10% unemployment. But that all being said, like, it's like it is a tough job market out there, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But like the first things first is like just show that you can work. If it means painting houses or mowing lawns, like just go do something, right? You get a degree no matter what. Like just show that you have work ethic to match it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we can talk about LouDega a little bit. How did you come up with the idea? How'd you settle on vending machines?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. So if you I have a ton of ideas, a lot of them are dumb. Some of them I write down. Some of them just hang on and remind me how stupid they were. But basically, it's like I got I had a couple, I had a FINA before this. I worked at Captain, recently at Iron Water, and that was all in Louisville the past 4 years. Like those are all startups. I worked at startups before this. Like I love startups, either, starting one or joining one. You make more money, or you make more money starting one, but you have more fun joining one. And you learn a
Mhm.
lot more joining one. So, um, just had all these ideas written down on paper, and the couple, I would say, one of the adages that I always tell other people is don't be married to one idea. Like just explore it objectively. And so vending machines was just one of the ideas of like 20, I would say, that came up on the list. And your other typical ones were like, car wash, vending machines, SaaS business, tech company, this idea, that idea. SaaS with the AI is like super easy to produce now, but like the struggle now is distribution, right? Just getting customers. Um, and so having done a SaaS business before, I was like, I don't have 2 years nor the bank account to kind of like bear the burden of 2 years of no revenue or like
Mhm.
not paying myself, right? So I was like, that's out, and there's so much uncertainty. A lot of tech things are, I think, really challenging in Louisville. There's not a lot of inputs, right? Like you don't have a strategic advantage with customers or anything, just in pure software. It's really hard to source labor, find a co-founder, et cetera. So that, I mean, I was saying you can't do it. Just me personally, those were just huge barriers to kind of do a pure tech play. Same with tech enabled even then. I don't have like a specific domain knowledge. And then in that converted us to like thinking about like an asset operational heavy business. And then you can stack rank them like typical ones, like if you did Airbnbs, if you did laundromats or another, car washes or another one, buying an existing business, I had a couple friends, buddy of mine who've done, earnouts. They bought like small businesses and then didn't earn out. Those take about 3 to 4 years to finish the earnout period.
Mhm.
And the reason I didn't want to do that is like, it's like maybe one of my friends did an awning business and is killing it now, right? And you wouldn't think that's like a glamorous business. Um, and my concern there is like, what happens 3 or 4 years from now? What happens 3 or 4 months from now? I'm not interested in awnings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're
Yeah,
Yeah.
locked in, right? So,
right.
uh, and then that ended up with like, well, vending machines is a pretty straightforward path. Like it's asset heavy, but unit economics, the unit size is really small, right? You're not going all in on a piece of property. And same with property, right? Like you can buy a piece of property and you just don't like it, right? It still takes you 3 to 4 months to rotate it out and you might take a loss. So we settle on vending machines, just in terms of the economics. It's very operationally heavy, right? It's a lot of labor. So I thought that was a benefit because I keep saying like I can tell 100 people, like if you guys want a longer format, I could walk you through all the numbers and be like, this is how we make money. And you'd be like, yeah, that's great. I don't want to do all the work. Right. Like, and honestly, like that's a huge advantage too. It's like you can talk to people and they're like, I know the numbers work. I just don't want to be restocking vending machines for the first 6 to 12 months. Right. And yeah, that's kind of how we settled there. And chose LouDega.
Yeah. I wanna talk a little bit about idea execution, and we can do it in the context of LouDega, but Dan, when Sammy and I, like, first met you, we had this startup that we were working on for 6 or 7 months, and it was really, like, our first attempt at trying to get a company off the ground, so you don't know what you don't know. So I've kinda described it, Sammy's described it as like, we built the city, what we thought was the city, like, we built the website and we're like, "How we're gonna" but we did all this without finding people and customers and beta testers, and kinda when we talked to you, you're such, like, an action-oriented guy that we kinda had this realization of just like, "Wait, like, yeah, we don't know who our target customer is, like, we don't have people to test it." So with LouDega, I remember hearing about kind of when like, I feel like you got it off the ground so fast and you started talking to potential customers so fast. And, you had a unit and genuine work like 3 weeks after it opened up. So if you could just talk a little bit about, for us and for our viewers, like how you think about idea execution, just because I feel like it's such a critical piece of getting a business off the ground.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the term like retard maxing, but that's like a
Yeah.
just live by that for the next, the first 4 weeks of your business. So yeah, like the first thing is just go talk to customers, like, and the first 2 weeks is going to be miserable, right? Like I would just say like I made it a point to I made a 7 page deck, right? And if you guys have like a site, I can show you this. It looks terrible now. Now, knowing what I know now, it looks terrible. But I made a deck and I printed it, and I just went, the strategy is can in hand, right? Like I would bring cans, I lug around an igloo cooler. I think it snowed the first week I started doing cold calling, right? So like I couldn't park, I couldn't do it, and just like as soon as I walked in, like, I'm a computer guy. I love sitting in front of my computer. This is what I do for like the last 15, 20 years, right? I would just be like, I walk in, drop off my stuff, fill up the cooler, and go, and just go prospecting for until I get exhausted. I would prospect through lunch, and I would just prospect. I just drive anywhere. Like, I see a place, I drive, I stop in. I would say like, hey, I'm Dan. I run a vending machine company. Here's like, do you want something to drink? And just keep prospecting like that. I did that for like 4 to 6 weeks straight, like just constantly, right? And then, I printed out 150 packets of flyers. And by like number five, I was like, dude, my packet sucks, right? Like, I got to redo it. And that goes to show you like a couple things, like between like packeting and like creating the deck, printing it, and starting was like 2 days or something. And so I think people ask me like, "Are you in vending machines?" Like, I don't know. Like, I'm talking to customers right now. Like, I literally don't know. I'm gonna hear what the customers say, and go from there and roll with the punches. But like talking to customers, figuring out who wants what a vending machine, what's a good customer look like, and even now it's like that has changed rapidly. But like you have to go talk to customers, meet people. Like you should always be selling, right? Always be selling, always be trying to close. Ask those questions of like, and you're going to get better at asking those questions and knowing not only like what you offer, but also like what customers want and who's a good customer. Like right now, like I know, hey, if you come to me, I've said no to people now because I'm just like, no, this is not going to be a good location. Why? Because I have locations and I can get some comps and I can know immediately like this is. So for anybody out there like who wants to start a business, same advice I gave to you, like you should just relentlessly talk to customers. If you're, I think you had a lawn care business on here, right? Like go door to door,
Mhm.
see if anybody wants their lawn mowed, right? And then you can figure out pricing. Like you can literally show up like from one house and say like, I'll charge you 50. And then they say, yeah. And you're just like, wait, did I get a bad deal? You go to the next house and you say, I'll charge you 60. And then you go to the next house and I'll charge you 70, right? Like you
Right.
can, and you'll learn more by doing that than even like talking to ChatGPT now, right? So I'd always encourage people like, in physical asset-based businesses, it's so easy to find customers, right? Because you just go there, they're physically located. But even if you're starting a tech company, like go talk to customers, right? Like don't, and then maybe my other piece of advice would be, um, don't talk to people that are interested that aren't your customers, right? So like, um, there's this book called The Mom Test, right? Like your mom, I don't know what the synopsis is, but the analogy is like your mom's always going to agree with you. They're always going to be like, "Oh, that's a great idea. I love it. Like, you're going to do great." Like, don't talk to your friends. Like, talk to true customers who don't know you, right? Your relationships can get you the first customer, but you're only going to get good feedback, which is typically like, "No, I don't want this," from like people you don't know, right? So whether it's tech or a physical asset-based business, like you have to start interviewing people, pick up the phone. Again, my strategy is can in hand. If you show up and like try to make a conversation happen, you're going to get a lot more feedback than trying to do cold emails or, just again, be close to your customer. And the closest you can be is in person.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's super helpful. Yeah, I think you told us pretty much the same thing 10 months ago, 12 months ago, and it's something we desperately needed to hear. I guess what does it look like then? So you're out prospecting all the time. You finally get that first customer, and maybe you start stacking them. And now all of a sudden you have a product or service that you need to deliver. What's the process look like of delivering that service in like the very beginning stages and then iterating on that to know if it's working or not?
Yeah, yeah. I'm still figuring that out. That's the fun thing. And it's the same thing as prospecting. It's just a continuous renewal process, right? Like every time we do a deployment, we try to tweak a little things here and there. And you get that visceral feedback of like, this is good, this is not good, this is something I should watch out. Like there are times that like, it's kind of dumb, but like, I, didn't- I didn't do I didn't know now I know how big the machines are, but, like, sometimes we had trouble fitting them through the doorway, right? Like, and now I know, like, "Hey, I gotta walk." I'm
Yeah.
you get walk through the front door and you're like, "Alright, this is great. Hey, if we're gonna place a machine, do you have a freight elevator? Do you have a special access way? Like, let's do that walkthrough again," and I'll walk through because now I know, and, um you're going to pick that up as you start doing deployments. And if you take it back to the first one I sold, like I was selling something that I didn't even haven't seen before, if that makes sense. Like I again did the other side and I researched a bunch of machines. I didn't know which vendor to use. I didn't know which machine to use. I didn't know what the capabilities were. And you get one in and you kind of figure it out from there. But then that experience you try to replicate and push through and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do next time. I'm going to try it this way next time. I'm going to try it this way next time, right? And you keep it iterating. We just did a deployment of 3 machines this past Friday, right? And I'm still learning things that I don't know if I know this now because it happened twice already. That a loading dock and a moving truck are different heights, right? So when you get a truck
I
off
didn't
of
know
a
that.
FedEx, it's like a certain height and you can back right to the loading dock. And I already like I know what a transition plate is and I know how to get that handle. So I know how to get it off a freight truck. But moving trucks are like 2 feet shorter. Right. So it's like they backed up to the loading dock and I was just like, oh damn it, like this ain't gonna
Yeah.
work. Right. So
Yeah.
like Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and you'll pick that. Now I know. It's like, all right, like next time we do a delivery, I got to account for the fact that these are different height vehicles, right? And et cetera, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and when you have a 500-pound machine and you're just in a loading dock, you just got to, again, it's like this machine needs to get on that truck. Like we will figure it out.
You've
But
gotta
in the
figure it
meantime,
out.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
just call the bros, be like, dudes, I need you for 10 minutes to lift this 2 feet
yeah.
down. Yeah.
And I think that's awesome because it's so important because I think so many people that wanna start a company, vending machine company or not, would sit there and worry about all of those things instead of just trying to do it. And it's just like, you're just such a great example of just do it and then, like, figure it out as you're going because that's what's gonna get you the momentum, to keep growing your business. And with that being said, like, what is success for LouDega? Where's LouDega in 6 months, a year, 5 years? Like, what's your goal with that?
Yeah, yeah. Just for LouDega itself, it's, a year from by the end of the year, we want 50 units deployed, right? And I think we're pacing a little bit slower than that, but we're on track, right? I've seen again competitors and other places they have 500, 1,000 machines deployed, right? They spent a generation building that business, and I really want to get to that level of like 500 machines deployed, 1,000 machines deployed. I really want to take over Louisville and be like the vending machine company of Louisville. So, I think, I hear from your past guests, like the goalpost keeps moving, right? Like
Right.
there's one, yeah. So like, I don't even know if I'll be satisfied at 500. I think I'll always want more, right? And to do more. But I think that's, the first goalpost was just like, the first goalpost was a $300 day, and we got that this past Sunday, right? And I just remember seeing it and just being like, right. That's great. Let's move the goalpost has already moved. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, all right. Like
Yeah.
there was no joy in it. Um, I was thinking preparing for this call. It's like it reminds me of like Kobe Mamba mentality. Like he's not satisfied with winning just one game, right, or any games, or even a championship. It's winning all the championships. It's just like the relentless desire to win, right? Like, and I think that's kind of the like you know at this point, my analogy would be like, hey, we won 2 out of 82 regular season games. We're 2-0, right? That's great. But we haven't won the season yet. We haven't won the championship yet. And even if we win the championship, like we wanna win the next one, the next one, the next one. Like losses you're gonna happen. Like I'm not gonna get super depressed, but like that's just the level of desire. Like we wanna three-peat, four-peat, we wanna be a dynasty. Yeah. So that's
Right,
yeah.
yeah, it's a tool, it's a powerful tool, and it's a curse at the same time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it keeps you moving forward, but then, yeah, there is never that moment of, "Whoa, like,
Yeah.
look at this," or maybe it's the smallest moment of that, and it's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's where the fun in it is. Alright, so the podcast is called How to Make a Few $1,000. You've already given us a ton of advice, but to sum it up, what's some overall advice if someone out there wants to make $1,000, not earn 1,000, make 1,000, a few thousand?
Make a few thousand. I think, we'll go back on like what does success look like, right? And I think that's, just having back to retard maxing, just really figure out what brings you joy, right? Like why do you need money? Like, and for me, I'll bring it back to that. Like, there's three tenants in my life. Like, it's my kids, my community, like my family. My wife included, my wider family, but basically my kids and my wife, my immediate family, my community, and then my career, right? And that's usually where you spend all your time aside from sleep. So some things will suffer at the behest of others. You're not like I don't think maximizing career. Like I know some 6-year-olds who are like heart surgeons. They make $1 million a year and they're divorced and they live alone and that's all they do. Like they just do heart surgery repeatedly.
Mhm.
I don't think that's success, right? So for people who just want to make a few thousand, right? Like, why do you want to make it? What gives you passion? Like, at the end of the day, like if this is a side hustle, like you want to do it where when you're done with your day job, like you have the energy to do it. Like, are you passionate? Do you really want to jump in and do that? So like follow your passion. The second thing is just, yeah, again, just go do it, right? Like don't overthink it. Just, if you want to be an influencer, just go do it. Like start being an influencer, start posting every day. If you get burned out, then that's fine. Like you're probably not passionate about it, but actions generate more like more signal than just pondering and doing it. If you want to start a laundry rental business, a washing machine rental business, like I think everybody they just started doing it, right? Talk to customers, say, "Do you need a washer dryer?" With $50 a month, right? And you'll figure it out. Don't worry about pricing or anything. Just get somebody to say yes to you.
I love that. That's great advice, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I think, hopefully people are taking away just the action aspect. I think it's so important, and ultimately with a lot of the entrepreneurs that we talk to, they're kinda getting at the same thing. They're the ones that did it because everybody's got all these ideas, but until you can actually go out and talk to customers, pull up the U-Haul truck to the loading dock and see it's 2 feet shorter, I mean, until you do those things, like, you're never gonna those are just it's part of the learning experience, it's part of the growing experience. But Dan, thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, Sammy. Thanks, Brad. Really appreciate being on the show. Best of luck,
Alright,
guys.
I appreciate it. For everybody listening, from Sammy, myself, thank you so much. That was episode 7 of How to Make a Few $1,000. We'll see you guys in the next episode. See you guys.
Appreciate it. Take
See
care.
ya.